Let's see. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? RK Stud back with you with another observation. We have a lot to cover, especially last week since it was my birthday. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, did I get spoiled by my friends and my family. Anyway, like a free comic book day, Mom bought me a whole bunch of comics. I've already showed you in one of my comic videos. I've started reading some of them. We'll do that in a new series that I'm going to do here in a few minutes after I get done with this one. So anyway, Wednesday comes. John and Beth and Heather and Rick all came from Toledo. My Toledo crew came down for me. Took me out for my birthday. We went to Lee's Chicken. It was their first time there. I don't know how people from Toledo have never been to Lee's Chicken. That's just me, I guess. And beyond that, Beth brought my bag full of presents. John brought in what Beth made. Everybody ordered. The staff saw the brownies, said someone must have a birthday, and I said, yeah, it's me. Then the whole restaurant, well, not customers actually, there was only maybe 2 or 3 in there, but the kitchen staff and all the people that worked there all said happy birthday. I was like, alright, cool, I'll take that. And we all sit there bullshitting, just chatting, having a good time, eating our meals, and then I finally get to my bag. Let's see, did we go with the brownies first? I think I went with the walnut brownies, and it was really cool because I had told Beth, they know I'm diabetic, I wanted a no or low sugar one. So she did it. Extremely proud of that. Extremely thankful, And I'll explain more later on. So we ate that and open it up. And let's see, we'll start with the first little thing. I got a happy birthday balloon. I like that. I like balloons. I like the Wizard of Oz. No, that's a quote from a movie, Christmas Story. And they got me let's see, 3 8-packs of Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, Almond Joy Mounds, and a bag of Reese's Thins, dark chocolate Thins, Reese's Thins. So, they're there for sugar crashes, which I've had a couple this week. They also got me a King Kong and Godzilla t-shirt from the new movie. Is it Forbidden Kingdom, New Empire? I think it's New Empire. I know I went to see it. Which, like I said, after you've seen Godzilla -1, I was kind of like less hyped for that one. But it's Godzilla and Kong. You can't go anywhere. And that one's already in the laundry, or else I'd bring it and show you, but I don't want you to smell it. Real stinky. And then they wanted to get me a Godzilla one, but the Godzilla one would have come later. So they got me a Kong. Fine, cool, no big deal. Then we went to, let me turn this down so YouTube doesn't strike me as a copyright. You know me, I like my music in the background. Made it to the show. Of course, we're VIP. And of course, got to see some of the regular bands, got to see some from the LPW family, some from the Michigan family subscribers and all that. We'll get more to you guys, you stooges, later. So we get in there. Of course, we're VIP, so we get to be right on in beforehand. So we get the VIP matches. Let's see. We got our seats. Then I went and got, even though it was my birthday, I wanted to show gratitude, so I paid for a whole round of drinks for everybody. And that's just the type of guy I am. Then made my way, and I see Benjamin Boone, I see Kenny Urban, I see the Perminator Sam Beale, LPW people. that are also wrestling for IWR. And, of course, my birthday present to myself was getting this nice Benjamin Boone hoodie. I paid him. It was 40. At first I paid him 30, and then I said, well, I'll give you the other 10 Saturday. He says, yeah, you're good for it. Then I remembered later on, during intermission, I remembered my bank card and took the rest out, so we were good that way. Which is fine. And Kenny Irvin, we'll get more to Kenny later on. He told me a happy birthday. And then Sam Beal was like, you got a birthday? I said, yeah, it's Saturday. He goes, all right, high five. So I sat down, having problems with the tablet. Even though I turned it on, it wouldn't come on. So the first match had to be on my phone. It was Honkrageous against Boone and BJ Fury. And you guys really didn't miss a lot of what I took. Because they came in, it was a fight for like maybe a minute. And then the tag in, 1, 2, 3, that was it. That was the whole show. Not the whole show, the whole match. Like I said, it was a theme for the night, since we'll get to the main event and explain why. Unless you've already watched the videos. Then next was the ladies three-way. Kayla Cassidy, Shelly Benson, and Zoe Sky. Zoe I've known since 2007, so of course I would cheer her on. She's done good. She's really good. I think she's one of the most, what do I want to say? One of the biggest underdogs and underutilized women talent today. For whatever reason. But that's just my opinion. She's also the last Shimmer champ. So that was a quick 4 or 5 minute match. You know, it's usually, that's what I'm thinking these VIP matches are. They're just short, just to get everyone kind of in the mood. And then my tablet was still being wonky. So I totally missed the tag team battle royal match that had, let's see, I think the Gold Standard, the Saint Brothers, the Sam Beal and Ox, Special Forces A-Team for Team Canada. That's 4 teams. Was there a 5th team? There might have been a 5th team. I can't remember. Because I was busy playing with my phone, and I apologize to everyone for that. But towards the end, Saint Brothers did get the victory, thank God. Because in order for you to eliminate a tag team, one of the opposing team's members had to be thrown over the top rope, and then you were out along with your partner. So there was a little bit of controversy towards the end. Then after that, then we had one that everyone got to get to watch. It was Buckeye Sam against a new one for me at least, Connor Knox. This time, Buckeye Sam won decisively. And then we get probably my biggest pop of the night, my biggest surprise. The last real man in professional wrestling, Silas Young. Which, of course, I ate that up, and then he's talking up the kid, and then not talking him up, and then he attacked him, which is fine. You know, Sam I like. Sam's been in it for about 2-3 years. Really plugging away. He has unlimited potential, Sam does. So if he's on a card in your area, I suggest watch him. He's also a pretty nice guy. I'll get to that more later. So now, those were done. Then we had the a pretty good match between Jason Hotch and Jake something. And you're going to have to excuse me with my throat. Not used to doing all this talking. I've got plenty to do today. It is diet. That was a pretty good match, I'll tell you that. The one thing I disliked about the IWR show wasn't the wrestling itself. It wasn't the company itself. It was the fact of all you guys have to do is watch the first one and watch this one. And for some reason, we are still behind the same people we were at the first show. The dude with the long hair, and I'm trying to find a way around him to try to get most of the action. Just wasn't working, and I was ticked off. I was already ticked off at other situations that I won't go into. And didn't like sitting there because I couldn't get the action that I really wanted to bring all of you to see as much as you can. See, then after that we had, oh my God, I can't even remember. I should have probably wrote down what it was. Did we have... Was it Dread King Logan and Karam? Karam's going to go by a new name here pretty soon. He's going to take his brother's nickname and run forward with it. Which I think is pretty cool. But that was a short match. Like I said, the show for the night had a short match theme other than the last one. The last match was the longest by far. Here we go. Oh, yep, I was right. It was Karan versus Dread King Logan. That was my first time seeing Logan for the first time. That dude's a beast, man. Bring him back for some more. Alright, then after that was Texas Tornado Tag Team match. The Rascals of Trey Miguel and Myron Reed against... Oh my God, what are their names? Ryan Mathias and... I don't want to say... KJ Reynolds. Back and forth, kind of high-flying, good action. But in the end, the Rascals won. And then, excuse me. Then the shock of the night, Madman Fulton came out against Ace Austin from the Bullet Club. What do they call themselves? ABC? Ace Austin, yep. God, I'm bad with names today. Now, them guys went back and forth, and I was surprised at the upset win that Ace Austin actually had with just a roll-up. But it was a good shock of the night. Then came the Monsters Brawl match between PCO, which we all know him as the Eternal Warrior that he is from wrestling all of them years ago back in WWE, which they screwed him around. Thanks, Click! Against Papa Dingo. Papa Dingo I've seen on and off through the years. So they're hitting each other with weapons and canes and trash can lids and cookie sheets and going all over, and which was really good. I definitely say go out of your way to watch that match. And then the last was the main event. Steel cage. They can't hold this in the main IWR building up in Monroe, Michigan. So they had to bring the cage here. Hey, that's fine. I'll gladly take something that Michigan can't just because, well, see, Michigan don't know dick. Thanks, Sam, for the shirt. It was a pretty good cage match, and you know Rhino was gonna. You didn't know it, but it was kind of cool that Rhino got to retain. Rhino still at this stage of the game is still way over. When he came out, just the place exploded, which is a good thing good thing. Then the show was over, and everybody else, John, Beth, Heather, and Rick, they were all around Madman, and they were getting shirts and 8x10 signed, and there was Ace Austin, so I went up to him and was talking to him for a little while and asked how TNA's doing since, they decided to get rid of Scott D'Amore. And he said, he told me stuff. He said it was fine and everything. Zay was still having fun. Like, okay. Meanwhile, while the show was going on, I had a personal business dealing going on. I had 7.5 boxes and a stack full of 50, 60 comic book trades that I was getting rid of. Well, the buyer was getting off at 10 o'clock and was going to be there at my house at 10:30 with the money. So, told the guys I told everyone I couldn't stick around any later than that. I had to get back because the comics were being sold. And on top of that, during the whole show, my sugar was high. Probably from all, the chicken and the eating and whatever. Sugar was in the beans and the chicken and whatever else they had there. Well, get home, start dragging the boxes down and the books. And little Miss Hissy, you know her from playing with her with the broomie. She was just curious about the boxes, so she's jumping around on the boxes before I can take them down. And I opened up one of them, and she wanted to jump, but she couldn't jump in. So I showed her one of the comics in the bag and board. Everything's all bag and board here. And she's like, oh, and then she went to her chair and opened up one of the trades and started flipping it for her. And she's just in there just looking. So the seller came eventually. I got paid. And 10:30 at night, mind you. So then about an hour later, after that, checked my sugar. It was down even lower. It was down to like 206 or 202. I'm like, all right, it's going down. I'll see how it is in the morning. I went no coverage, and during the middle of the night, it went down to almost 80. And then it just slowly climbed back up with no sugar in me. Like I said, figuring this out is still figuring this out. Then Saturday comes along. I had plans for my birthday that I had wanted to do. I'm not gonna mention that they were screwed up. I didn't get to do the one thing because of somebody. I won't name who. So I just spent the day at home just sitting, relaxing, watching TV, waiting on the show. Oh, got to watch The Iron Claw, which is a really good movie. I check it out. Except the end is a little wonky with my beliefs. I don't believe in it. But that's here or there. You know, it's still a good movie. Then I get to the show. Well, I leave about what? About 5:50, somewhere around there. Somewhere around there, because I made it about 6:15. Because I just went ahead and walked. I had a water. Let's see. Had insulin in the morning for breakfast. Had insulin about 1:45, 2 o'clock for my lunch, which was buffalo boneless chicken wings, because that was my birthday treat to myself. And about 5, Mom had dinner, so I just had a bowl of shepherd's pie. So my sugar was up high already. So I did put some coverage in just to cover me for the show. It was still high when I got there. So I just had water and some diet pops for the show, which in fair was a good thing. Let's see. From there, let's see. Went down to the line. Went to pay my ticket, and I was messing with Brittany, Tim Horner's wife. When I was paying for my ticket, I said, Tim said, since it's my birthday, I'm allowed in for free. She goes, oh, okay. And I said, no, here's my money. So of course I was in a good mood. And then, let's see if I can remember who came. My new buddies from up in Michigan, Tim, Brian, Jeff. I think I got that right. Let's see. Plus, they brought in a promoter from up in Michigan named Bubba. So it was really nice meeting and getting ready to hung with everybody. We still had an open seat. So my buddy Maverick came and sat right next to me. Unfortunately, John and Beth were working Saturday. And Rick was probably working, and Heather was in the hospital because she had foot surgery. She just had a checkup. She said the foot's doing good. Good job. Keep it up. So, like I said, Wednesday was my Toledo crew. Saturday was, Tim calls them the Stooges. I don't know why he calls them the Stooges, but we're sitting there. I'm filming the show. We're all having fun and laughing. I'm hearing what people are on the left are saying. And of course, I have Tim sitting right next to me and helping me along with, the Michigan guys that came in and gave me a little bit more info on them. So I am proud of that. I feel more proud and more confident in front and behind the camera as well. I'm slowly getting back to where I was years ago with Toxic Pop, and you guys can find them on YouTube anywhere. Let's see. Later tonight with the Benjamin Boone interview, I'll throw on some links from some of the older interviews I've done. I've done it with Marilyn Gigliotti and Brian O'Halloran from Clerks. I've done one with, oh my God, there was just so many. Maybe I'll throw the one that I did with Lynn Stewart, who was Miss Yvonne and Pee Wee's Playhouse. Maybe I'll throw in the one with comic legend Neil Adams, who's since passed away, or Jeremy Bullock, the original Boba Fett. That interview. I'll throw some just so you guys can see and compare how my interview style is either stayed the same, it's gotten worse. That's all up to you, though. So anyway, the show starts, and I go to stand up with everyone for the American anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, and I just couldn't do it. My balance was kind of wonky. Don't ask me why. I just didn't feel safe being on my feet. Then we get in the show, and Corey's trying to announce time for the bachelor pad, but Kenny Urban comes out, and then Benjamin Boone comes out. Then they bring the birthday boy out, Tim Horner, whose birthday was actually Monday, so happy birthday, Tim. And then they did a This Is Your Life segment with pictures where they photoshopped him and Corey's faces in and his family's pictures in and all these other stuff. It was really funny and cute at the same time. Then the first match was, the Saint brothers coming in and defending against Studio 86, who were returning. So it was a good tag team match. They went back and forth. Obviously, I'm behind the Saints 100%. The boys, Corey and Chase, have grown so much since that first match. And Studio 86, they do their jobs just well. So I like them too. And then after that, then we had Moonshine Sherman Walker come out with Ox. Sherman got on the mic, talked a little bit, said he wasn't going to wrestle, but Ox was. Then they brought out Ox's opponent, the Desert Dragon, Sam El Jami, a.k.a. Buckeye Sam, who I asked to bring this down because I wanted a Buckeye Sam shirt. Which, he can only be Buckeye Sam for IWR. Cool. Okay, fine. It would be so... It works all over wherever he's at. Especially up in Michigan where he's booed, and down here in Ohio where he's cheered. And of course, says Michigan doesn't know dick. Dedication, integrity, courage, and knowledge, which is based on Kurt Angle's 3 eyes. Also, unfortunately, it has Michigan's colors, but it also has Ohio State colors. And as I have this on, 10 years ago to the day, we had to put down my old English sheepdog, Berkshire. He was my best tag team partner in the dog show ring. There's a lot about Bark that I did for him, and he did, and he loved watching football, and he could do the OHIO. There, I said it. Still miss Sparky. Was a good match and surprising. Ox won. It's the intermission, and then, like I said, I went up to Sam to get the shirt. What else did I do? I can't remember what else I did. Probably went back to my seat and waited for the second half. Which was number 1 contendership for the LPW title for Fight for Fremont, which was won back in March and back in April by Sam Beal. Sam Beal is supposed to be injured because he didn't show up to the show Saturday. I think Tim said he's injured. I don't think he's really injured. I think it's more of a since it's the end of LPW, maybe Sam's like, why should I even bother just showing up? If that's the point, that's the point. If I'm wrong about that, I'll admit I'm wrong in thinking that way. I'm just playing armchair wrestler here at the moment. Armchair booker, or whatever you want to call it. So everyone was in. Let's see, there was Johnny Go. Maverick kind of, one of Maverick's favorites. Adam Wick came in. Boy, poor Adam needs a win in LPW. Hopefully he'll get it on the last show. A new big guy was in, Ace. I can't remember his last name. He was in. The Gator Boys were in. Sam Eljami came back out. Who else was in there? And Kenny Urban was in there, and some big mass dude. If you watch the match, you'll just hear me call him Uncle Festus, Cousin Festus, Hillbilly Festus. He belongs with Sherman's group. So I didn't catch his name for that. They never mentioned it, but he told me after the show. It's Slaughterhouse. All right, dude. Let's see. And then Kenny was supposed to have won, and then how do I remember it? Why do I remember that? Was it Sherman and Ox came down to kind of get rid of Kenny, but Kenny threw them both out. And then Chuck came down and tried to screw Kenny, only to be nutted by Tim Horner Jr.'s son. I can't remember. Either way is how it went. And then we got the tag team match of the night. The Saint Brothers were defending the belts again against Benjamin Boone and his mystery partner, which was supposed to be Tim Horner Jr. But they had Chuck attack Tim in the back and showed us all on the Strandtron, which harkens back to the first days of using that when they first started, that they slowly decided not to do. Now they're going back to the old stuff. Doing stuff the old way. Okay, fine. I will say this. I will give the Saints their due for wrestling twice in a show. However, maybe since it was the main event and it followed up the Battle Royal, which was exciting, the crowd level just wasn't there for them. So anyway, it was Boone tagging with Chuck, and Boone didn't want to tag Chuck in, and then the minute in the match that he was going to tag Chuck, Chuck decides to leave and starts to cheer for the Saints. He's sitting in a chair. You can see I filmed him cheering on the Saints. So for you, Chuck, you get fan of the night. And then out comes, excuse me. Out comes our boy, Tim Horner. Comes out, helps Boone. They win the tag belts. Fair enough. And Chuck gets back on the mic and screams he's got a mystery partner for Fight for Fremont. So we already know 2 matches for Fight for Fremont, which sounds at this point it's going to be the last. We have Moonshine Sherman Walker against the Kenny Urban. Like I said, I'd get back to Kenny eventually. This is where I praise Kenny Urban. He's put up with a lot for me throughout the entire history of LPW. First, he was a ref. I gave him crap for it. Then he was the commissioner. I gave him crap for it. Then he was the Kenny Urban wrestler. Gave him shit for it. West Side Connection with Tim Horner Jr. Gave him crap for it. The Kenny Urban gave him crap for it. Until last year. When we had that wonderful Fight for the Right Battle Royal. And that Boone won. Kenny did not 3 faces of Foley. or 4 faces of Foley. He did 5 faces of Urban. That is dedication. That is what turned me into the Kenny Urban fan. And he recognized it after the show. Him and Boone were both on me after the show. Happy birthday! Yeah, thanks. Tell the whole crowd. Thank you. And someone had a scowl on their look because they were saying happy birthday to me. But oh well. We won't delve into that, Karen. So I'm waiting around after the show because Boone promised me an interview that I had asked him about Wednesday. So we get to it. And Boone, I will say, just talked, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. He gave a lot of info that I was glad that he did. It was an awesome interview. I just felt it went a little long. You guys need to watch it because it's really entertaining and informative. And thank you, Boone, for that. That was an awesome interview. My biggest gripe is, that's 3 LPW shows I've done. That's 3 interviews I've done. The first one with the trainees is up there with like 90-some views. Last month's with Nate Madsen's only at 40-some views. And it's only been a few days after the show. Boone has 22, 23 views. So either you guys like the interviews or you don't like them. You guys need to let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. As far as I know, and the feedback I get from a certain big baby, he actually likes the interviews. He goes, you are doing pretty good. So I said, thanks. It's getting back to how I was with the Toxic Pop crew. So, let's see. Is that long enough for you people? Like the last show, like I said, sounds like June 15th will be the last show. Moonshine Sherman Walker against D. Kenny Urban, and then for the tag belts, Tim Horner Jr. and D. Bachelor Benjamin Boone defending against Chuck Colding and a mystery partner. It's either his brother or it's too obvious, and maybe it's the Pro Gun, D-Ray 3000. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what's going on. We'll have to wait to see where it's at outside. Whether it'll be downtown Front Street or if it's going to be in the Newly Amphitheater. We'll see, but we'll also know that you guys will also know that I will have all the stuff. I will bring everything to you. And, we'll leave it at that. See you at the matches.